Good morning. I'm Steve Wood, pruning our young block of apple trees here. These apple trees will have SweeTango apples on in the fall, we hope, and would talk a little bit about what I'm doing in here this morning. This is a block of SweeTango, or apple trees that will have SweeTangos, and it's planted about 4 feet or so in the rows like this, and 14 feet across, and that gives us a tree density per acre of about 700 trees to the acre. That's what we call a medium density orchard. There definitely are orchards that are planted much closer together here, 1 and or 2 feet apart in the row, and like 12 feet across between rows. That gives a tree density of about 1,000 to 2,000 trees per acre. So that's a lot of trees to the acre. We haven't felt comfortable doing that yet, but we're working our way towards that over the years. This block is about 3 years old, and we hope to have some apples on it next year. We like to let the tree structure grow for the first couple of years or so, and then let them have fruit, because once you start letting them have fruit, the tree doesn't grow nearly as well vegetatively as it does when we clip all the fruit off, and that's probably what we have done on these trees for a couple of years. So I'm pruning these. This is, you can shoot down here, we try not to let a tree have limbs much below my knee, and these are close, so I'm just going to prune those off. Otherwise, when they get full of apples, they sort of bend down into the to the ground and the grass, and the apples get dirty, so we keep them a little higher up. Also, I'm trying to, what I call, get the tree back in balance. I want the stronger limbs on the bottom and the weaker limbs on the top, so the tree has sort of a Christmas tree shape as it grows. We like it to grow tall up to the top, but the stronger limbs on the bottom and weak fruiting limbs up on the top, and allowing as much light as possible to get into the fruit. That's basically our goal in pruning, is to allow as much light as possible to get into the center of the trees where these fruit buds are, and so these apples mature and get nice and red. If I hold my hand right behind this one, Janice, can you take a picture of that bud right there? That is the probably will be a fruit bud. Both of these will be fruit buds, and be 4 or 5 apples potentially on each one of those. Now, we sure don't want that to have that little spur. We sure don't want that to have 8 or 10 apples, so we'll thin it down to maybe just 1 or 2 apples at the most. The more apples we let these little trees have, the less they will grow vegetatively. We want these limbs to eventually come together like this and have a solid row of apples, so that right now I can walk between them without any trouble, but in a year or two we hope that that's not the case, that we can't walk between them without lifting and working our way through. So that's what we're trying to do here. Direct the tree, get it growing in the direction we want, open it up to sunlight. Any limbs that are too vigorous, we get out and shape the tree. So that's what I'm doing. Every tree is different, but yet every tree is the same. So I move right along here and get these pruned before they start to grow. These buds are still, I wouldn't call them dormant anymore, but they're not growing. There's no green tissue here yet, but we've had lots of warm weather in the last week, and they're starting to wake up from their dormancy. Guess that's it.